AI travel agents are being pitched as the next big bet in this segment. Are they really? If you own stock in Expedia, Booking Holdings, or Airbnb, you may want to sit down for this. For over 20 years, the travel investment thesis was simple: buy the toll booth. If you wanted a hotel or flight, you had to drive through their gate, and they took a fat 10 to 30% cut, an efficient, high-margin business model. Now, AI is starting to change that. We aren't just seeing a new competitor, it's a potential removal of the search layer entirely. So what's coming instead? Let's start with how travel distribution actually works today. Have you booked a trip lately? When I do, I find myself switching between like 10 tabs. One for the flights, one for that hotel I saw on Instagram, another for the reviews, and maybe Google Maps to check if the city center hotel is not actually in a cornfield 3 hours away. Some of you might even use a spreadsheet to compare the options. Well, that's the search economy. According to research, travelers spend almost 9 hours viewing 141 pages of travel content before booking a trip. Doesn't sound very efficient, right? And yet, online travel agencies, Booking.com, Expedia, Trip.com, Airbnb, built massive businesses on this. They became the search kings. They aggregated all the fragmented info into neat lists. They monetized your confusion. They charge suppliers for visibility and for your convenience of not having to call them directly. Hotels hate the commissions, but they need the heads in beds. And they can't outspend Booking.com, which poured over $7 billion into marketing in 2024 alone. For years, this was a tug of war, but that game seems to be over. Hi, I'm Medovoi, founder and CEO of AltexSoft. Today, we're discussing whether travel distribution is on the edge of a structural shift and what investors should do before it becomes obvious. We'll explore how AI agents could rebalance power in travel, and why infrastructure like MCP may be the real game changer. The disruptor, of course, is AI, and specifically agentic AI. And boy, changes are happening fast. Unlike previous technological shifts like desktop to mobile, which took a decade to mature, AI is developing at the pace of software updates. To understand the threat, you have to understand the tech. You've probably used a reflex agent, those old customer service chatbots. They follow a script. If you go off script, they break. You type, "change my flight," and it sends you an FAQ link. Not helpful. Then came generative AI, which is a bit smarter and can at least understand what you were asking. It would give better answers, but it still can't do much. Agentic AI is a whole new thing. Instead of just responding, they can execute. Technically, they use React architecture, which stands for reasoning and acting. Ask it to plan a 2-week trip to Italy under $5,000. An agent does more than a keyword search. It breaks the task down through a chain of thought process. It looks for cities with good food and history. It checks flight prices. It realizes the flight is too expensive, so it swaps your 5-star hotel for a 4-star one to keep you under budget. Moreover, it can read your entire Gmail history, your calendar, and every review you've ever written. Now, it knows you hate early morning flights and want breakfast included. So it's not just finding a trip, it's finding your trip. Then it presents the plan. And most importantly, it can book the whole thing for you in case you approve the plan. Neat, right? But what about those technologies makes the CEO of the biggest OTAs wake up in a cold sweat? The thing is that an AI agent isn't just a fancy search bar. Think about the difference. In the old world, the search economy, value came from how much you could index. In the new world, the answer economy, value comes from accuracy. OTAs give you options to compare. AI does the comparison for you. Essentially, it's a shift from "here is a list of 5,000 hotels, good luck," to "here's the one you actually want." And if AI just hands you the answer, there's no search results page, no 10 blue links, and no ads, which is how Google makes most of its money. You see, OTAs rely heavily on Google. Historically, companies like Expedia spend billions on marketing just to win your click when you search for hotels in London. But if your browser's AI or just your personal AI travel assistant gives you the answer right away, you never click the link. You never go to Expedia. The top of that funnel gets cut off. Traffic drops, unit economics fall apart, end of story. But wait, it can get worse for them. If I ask an AI, find me a quiet hotel in Paris for under $300 near a park because I'm bringing my kids, and it says, here's the Courtyard Gare de Lyon, it fits all your criteria, should I book it for you? Why do I need to visit Booking.com? What if AI platforms start linking directly to supplier systems through what is called the MCP, Model Context Protocol? It's essentially the communication protocol that enables the connection between the agent and service or data provider. In his talk with Tyler Cowen, Sam Altman hinted that that's where they're heading, one-click bookings directly through ChatGPT.
If ChatGPT shows you it's guess the best hotel, whatever that is, and then if you book it with one click, takes the same cut that it would take from any other hotel, and there's nothing that influenced it, but there's some sort of transaction fee, I think that's probably okay. And with our recent commerce thing, that's the spirit of what we're trying to do. We'll do that for travel at some point.
The math is simple. A hotel comes to ChatGPT and offers a 10% commission for every booking. OpenAI is happy as it might finally become profitable. The hotel is happy as it saves on commission. The only one not happy is the middleman squeezed out of the game, the OTA. Do you see the gravity of the threat now? But before you go short on Booking.com, let's look at the other side. The CEOs of Booking.com and Expedia are well aware of what's going on. And do you think they will just roll over and die? No, they fight back. And their defense strategies are actually kind of brilliant. You know, I always say, if you can't avoid a fight, be the first to attack. OTAs don't just watch how smart machines take over their businesses, they pour billions into R&D and their own AI initiatives. Look at Trip.com. $2.2 billion, a quarter of their net revenue, went to product development in 2025. And you know what? All of those OTAs who you would expect to see panicking are actually excited about AI. They were fast to launch smart travel assistants and recommendation engines. They're busy building partnerships with major conversational AI providers like OpenAI and Perplexity. And they've also been developing MCP capabilities. That's a key factor most people miss. To bypass OTAs, suppliers must have MCP set up to directly talk to AI agents, right? But that's not something any mom-and-pop inn can do on its own. So where would AI get inventory from? That's right, the biggest databases that have millions of options with real-time availability, pricing, and photos. Who owns those databases? OTAs. This is their moat. They have spent 30 years building it. If OTAs stop being a website, they can still be the back-end infrastructure for the AI. And this is basically what today's ChatGPT partnerships with Booking.com and Expedia are about. ChatGPT isn't magically pulling inventory out of thin air. It's sourcing it through OTA infrastructure via MCP-style integrations. Currently, AI chatbots show you the travel options that you can then book through the OTA. In the future, when agentic AI is ready, it will handle the reservation for you end-to-end. But under the hood, that transaction could still flow through Booking.com, with Booking taking a fee. In that scenario, OTAs might lose the front-end traffic, but they keep the back-end transaction volume. Now, that's one possible future. But it's not the only one, because once AI becomes the interface, other models start to make sense too. Agentic AI providers could work directly with hotels and airlines on a similar commission basis. Similar to OTAs, but with lower take rates. They could adopt transaction-based model, replacing today's pay-per-click meta-search economics with pay-per-booking. Or, what I anticipate, AI providers could acquire travel tech companies outright. Think of it for a moment. By buying PMS platforms, channel managers, CRS systems, or distribution middleware, an AI company doesn't just get software, it gets direct access to inventory from thousands of suppliers. In that model, The AI doesn't need to negotiate one hotel at a time. It inherits connectivity at scale. Inventory becomes embedded into the AI stack itself, not licensed from an OTA. And once that happens, the AI provider starts to look less like a partner and more like a new kind of distributor. We don't yet know which model will dominate, and we don't know whether OTAs will fully defend their position in this new reality. However, they have one more ace up their sleeve. Have you noticed how finding the perfect housing has gotten slightly easier with Airbnb or Booking.com? Like, you don't have to scroll through as many options as you used to. That's not a coincidence. Major OTAs aren't just marketplaces, they're data ecosystems with loads of behavioral and transactional intelligence built over the years. With models custom built around that data, they can now give users something important: personalization based on years of knowing them. That's an edge that's hard to replicate. And I'm not even talking about other issues with AI we have now: hallucinations, liability, data security regulations. The failure rate of today's AI agents is colossal. No wonder we still have that trust gap. Would you let a robot book a non-refundable $2,000 flight without checking its work? Probably not yet. And the keyword here is yet. So you see, AI can't just replace what exists overnight. There are lots of questions to figure out before we switch to the world of machines. Okay, now we have the full picture. So what should we as investors bet on? AI, OTAs, or maybe something else? I have an alternative thesis. As agents become capable of executing tasks, suppliers can go direct. A traveler's AI agent can interact directly with the hotel systems, complete a booking, and trigger payment without an OTA. But there's a catch. This only works if hotel data is clean, structured, and machine-readable. We are moving from SEO, search engine optimization, to GEO, generative engine optimization. In an agent-driven world, ranking pages and keywords matter less. What matters is whether an AI can reliably parse availability, pricing, policies, amenities, and constraints in real time. If AI can't read your inventory, you don't exist. This creates a massive tailwind for connectivity and middleware providers. Companies that normalize, structure, and expose hotel data, channel managers, CRS platforms, distribution APIs, or MCP developers become critical infrastructure. They sit between the suppliers and AI agents, enabling agent-to-agent commerce at scale. As hotels rush to regain margins and remain visible in AI-driven booking flows, demand for connectivity software is likely to accelerate, regardless of which AI interface or consumer brand wins. These are not sexy consumer brands, but they are the picks and shovels of the AI transition in travel. This is the rare scenario where upside comes from structural necessity, not consumer adoption. Here's the bottom line for investors. Watch the big players with a strong supply moat: Expedia, Booking Holdings, Trip.com. If they talk about B2B growth, fintech, and connectivity more than they do about traffic, they are probably on the right trajectory. Meta search engines. In the zero-click world, the companies that only rely on a price comparison model are the most vulnerable to AI that does the same natively. When distribution fragments, infrastructure tends to win. The truth is, we don't yet know who the ultimate disruptor will be. It could be one of the legacy giants that already sit deep in the travel pipeline, like Amadeus, Oracle, or maybe Sabre, which was the first to launch its MCP, or it could be newer, fast-growing tech providers, platforms like SiteMinder or Muse, that are more agile, API-first, and built for a world where AI agents, not humans, are the primary users. Whatever the case, I believe it's worth watching the companies that power the backend. If you consider investing in private and small-cap companies, watch my video about travel startups. There, I review some promising opportunities in segments such as short-term rentals and corporate travel management. Digital by nature, they can be early winners in this tech race. What do you think? Is Expedia a value trap or a legacy giant that will survive? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.